Ahoy! Welcome to the premiere of the Newdorf Interview Series. I am your host, Adam Newdorf. Today, I am pleased to have Dr. Michael Christakis as my first interviewee. Dr. Christakis is the Vice President of Student Affairs here at the University at Albany. And for those that don't know, SA, Student Affairs, essentially curates the student experience outside of the classroom. Is that right?
Great way of framing it.
Perfect. All right, so to start off, would you like to share what brought you to the university?
What brought me to the university 24 years ago was actually graduate school. I actually came here as a grad assistant to start my master's degree in public policy. Didn't think that 2+ decades later I'd be sitting here as vice president for student affairs, but completed my master's degree and then started working professionally at Albany as a residence hall director, actually. Mm-hmm. And the rest in some ways is history, but it was grad school that drew me into Albany initially.
Did you ever think you were going to be sitting down getting interviewed by a student for...
No, I did not. No. First time for everything.
Is there a personal accomplishment you've had on campus so far in your... I didn't realize you were on campus for so long, but is there an accomplishment you'd like to highlight?
I think introducing sort of what we characterize as sort of welcome week experiences as students come to campus was something that I still continue to be very, very proud of, whether it's, helped introduce opening convocation for our first time new students and transfer students in 2015, I think was the first one we did. That tradition continues. Associated with that tradition is the all-class photograph that we started doing that same summer. That's a tradition that continues. Mm-hmm. It's those traditions and those initiatives that I think are both memorable for students, but I also think help begin to emphasize how important the student experience is that I'm probably most proud of.
And the class photo evolved over the pandemic, and is it true that you're doing it back in person again? Because for my year, we all submitted our own photos and you're just going to collage it, but...
Yeah, the incoming class of, was that 20?
I was 20, yes.
20 was the digital
That's
collage.
Right, yes.
We did bring it back the following year, and then 22, we actually ended up transitioning it to Collins Circle, which is right behind us here. Uh-huh. So the last 2 years, including the one that happened 2 weeks ago, happened out in Collins Circle.
Okay.
And they've, again, with the exception of the digital one, which I'll certainly acknowledge given circumstances, they've been absolutely epic photographs that we get a lot of social media play on. Students save it. We send a postcard home to parents.
That's nice.
Sort of, your students here, try to find them in the photo kind of thing. They really are a keepsake.
Okay, very nice. Do you know if the school will be offering flu shots soon?
We have historically offered flu shots, and our plan is to offer flu shots when we're able to get a pharmacy that's going to partner with us to do that.
Okay. What is something you're looking forward to in this coming year or in the near future?
I'm really excited about a couple of sort of more recent developments at the University of Albany that I think our students will benefit from. Artificial Intelligence Plus, AI Plus initiative that's been funded by the state that we've made investments in here. I think there's 20 plus AI-related faculty that started this fall. I do think that there's tremendous potential to expose all of our students to what artificial intelligence means in their respective discipline, and that's the idea behind AI Plus. So it could be AI in history, it could be AI in the sciences. It transcends the institution, and so I'm really excited about how we're going to be realizing that. Obviously, as I think some folks know, that the Nano College has returned to the University of Albany.
That's right, I saw that.
Yeah, which is a big deal for us. It was founded here many years ago. Took a hiatus, as I like to characterize it, and is back now, merged with our engineering college. So now it's the College of Nanotechnology, Science, and Engineering. And so that's super exciting, and they've already seen tremendous growth in the number of students in the college. We've seen an almost doubling in the size of our Albany Marching Great Danes. The marching band under our new full-time director this last year has almost doubled in size. So it went from about 35, 40 to just shy of 80 now. And you can tell the difference.
Marching band?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at the last football game and they were pretty good.
Yeah. The level of student engagement, particularly as we're coming back this fall, has been second to none. I mean, I think that, we were still in the shadow of the pandemic, but I think that as students are coming back, we had, I think, 5,100 students at that football game on Saturday where we beat Fordham. That's an all-time high for the number of students that are there. So lots of exciting things happening and tremendous student engagement, which I'm super stoked about.
Do you have a favorite place to eat on campus?
I like going over to the campus center. I actually don't mind going to the resident dining halls as well.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of the 1844
Yes.
restaurant,
Okay.
which is once upon a time was a little bit more of a hidden gem. I feel like more students have realized they can go there for the buffet lunch. So I love 1844. Also a big fan of Halal Shack. And then there's the sub place too.
Sub connections. So what about like in the Albany area? I mean, obviously I'm not going to inhibit that. You can say like, we'll give it a 20-mile range, your favorite like restaurant in the area.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a bit of a tough one. I like going, I like craft beer.
Okay.
And so I'm a big fan of Druthers, which
Okay.
is in Albany. So drinking beer, they've got great food, terrific macaroni and cheese,
Okay.
Pizzas. I will also say I like the bagels at Uncommon Grounds. There's two Uncommon Grounds in close proximity to us. I'm not a New York City, Long Island kid, so I can't really discern high quality bagels, but the Uncommon Ground bagels are very generous helpings, and so I'm a big fan of those.
Okay. What about like, do you have an all-time favorite restaurant?
So I'll tell you, when I was in grad school, again, my master's degree is in public policy, my PhD's in public administration and policy, so I spent some time on the downtown campus. But a block over from where I would take my classes during my master's and doctoral work is Sovrana's Pizza. I think Sovrana's Pizza is some of the best pizza.
All right.
And so that sort of
Okay.
was my sustenance through graduate school.
I see.
And if I have occasion to go down there and grab a slice, I certainly will.
All right. What is your philosophy for engaging the student body? And I know that's a bit of a broad question, but Josh, the president, suggested it. And I think it's a good question too.
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I mean, my general approach in philosophy in terms of engaging the student body is to begin with a student. When you sort of consider the size of our student body, right, we've got almost 17,000 students at UAlbany. That's a lot of students. We're a large public research university. My approach is just to begin with the one, whoever, one or two, right? I mean, I
Very
think
smart.
it's you can just sort of do one at a time. I think that lends itself to a richness of interaction as well. I'll acknowledge that I'm not great with names, but I'm pretty good with faces, and so I do recognize students after we've had an interaction. Sometimes you might need to place where that interaction was.
Right, that helps.
Yeah. It's the good and the challenges, too, that students are confronting, right? I mean, I certainly want to hear about their exciting experiences, the ones they're enjoying most. But I'm, and again, I'm always a resource, and I maintain this in all my interactions with students. Let me know how I can help is inevitably what I sort of articulate. So, but again, at the end of the day, it begins with a single student.
I think that wraps it up. My time here with Dr. Christakis has been very wonderful. I would like to thank you for taking the time to do this, and I'd like to give a big thank you to all of the SA staff here. They've been pretty good, and I'd like to give a shout out to Student Association. Your student activity fee at work.
There you go. Thank you so much for including me. I appreciate it.
All right.
Go Great Danes.
Go Great Danes.